Well, now here's a problem we see all the time in kitchens and bathrooms. It's failing and cracking caulking. And you really need to take care of this immediately because water can get back in there. And of course, we can get rot and mold and all sorts of things. So today I'm going to show you how to remove and replace caulking. All right, so the first step is to remove the old material, and we can do that a couple different ways. You can use something like this, a putty knife, or even a utility knife. The problem with something metal though is you risk scratching the surface of the tile or the sink or whatever. So I'm going to use this. This is a plastic caulk removing tool, and I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but let's try it out. Well, this tool started off pretty well, but some of the caulking was so tough that I had to bring out the big guns. This is just a retractable blade, and I'm going to use this to gently scrape and very carefully pull up the caulk. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be extremely careful, not only to not cut myself, but also not to mar any of the finishes. So here I'm just kind of working it along, an even amount of pressure. Now when the caulking breaks free, you can just pull it out. Okay, so I've removed as much as I can with the knife, but you can see there's still these little stubborn pieces here that I really don't want to try to dig in there with a knife. So what I'm going to do is take some rubbing alcohol, put it on a rag, kind of dab it in there and let it soak in for a few minutes. That will soften it up and will allow me to take the razor and just make it so much easier to remove those final little pieces of material. It needs to be totally clean because if not, the new caulk won't adhere to the surface. And then just one final wipe down with more rubbing alcohol, and we're ready for the new caulking. So there are so many different types of caulking to use. Now the one I'm actually using has a little bit of adhesive in it, just makes that bond a little bit stronger, but really any caulking will do. Now because this is a small job, I'm just using one of these handheld tubes. If we were doing a much bigger job, like maybe the entire bathroom, we would need a larger bottle like this and a caulking gun. The first step is to cut off the tip. And you make sure you want to do it on a 45-degree angle, and you'll see why in just a minute. Now the reason why we cut the nozzle at 45 degrees is really just to give me better control. It creates a pointed opening that lets me aim the bead. Now you can see that whenever I can, I try to push the material into the void. That just makes sure that the material gets deep into that opening. So now we can do the tried and true method of dabbing a little water on our fingers and kind of smoothing it out. But I actually found this tool that I really like that does it way better. It's called a caulk finishing tool. You can see that this really leaves a nice clean finish with nothing left over to clean up. Just nice even pressure, and it comes out great every time. And after about a half an hour, it's dried and as good as new. And you did it yourself.